Welcome back, everybody, to episode 16 on the Minecraft Pocket Edition. Today, I'm going to show you some of the stuff that we did last episode, plus what I've done in between, along with some more changes that I'm deciding to make around the buildings nearby. Now, as you can see, there's been not much more done to the nether reactor. It's still kind of bugged out and a bit weird, but the whole bottom floor is now cleared so it can be used again. And I just need to find some more diamonds to make a diamond pick to get my obsidian. Pond, not changed. These trees haven't changed, but this has. This reed farm has changed a little bit now that the chicken farm has gone. I've started to extend the new reed farm out a little bit more so we can begin developments on the library, which we are going to be building very soon. Now, as you can see, I've moved it out a couple more, and slowly but surely I'm getting there with the equipment. And as you can see, when it's fully grown, it looks a hell of a lot nicer when it's actually all there. Melon farm, I'm considering going to remove it now that it's done, and all the pathing here has come and it's been ripped out. Now the melon farm is serving its purpose and it will be moved to a better location, so don't worry about that. It's just so I can extend the tree farm. Now let me just load my equipment up because I don't have anything. And I will go around and I will show you the developments I've made to our little, well, not so little anymore, but river. Because obviously last episode I was talking to you guys about where I wanted the river to go and what I wanted to kind of do with it a little bit. And you saw me blow some of it out with TNT, and I kind of dug the rest out and filled it up with water. And I kind of spaced it out a little bit more, and this is what I came up with. Pretty nice. I just not really keen on this back corner here, but obviously this will extend up this direction over the ridge where it's in between us there. So obviously I've spruced it up a little bit with flowers, which have just bone mealed the walls, and it's pretty much fine. And as you can see, it looks a hell of a lot nicer now, and it kind of takes it away from the bluey bits that you get from inside, like just normal. Not blue, but green grass, green trees, green everything. As you can see, the grass is slowly dying underneath it. Slowly but sure, and it'll look a hell of a lot nicer when I replace all the sand as well. But obviously I'm going to slowly progress it into sand here, so that when we hit to the waterfall that I've added in, and the little river, it'll make more sense that it's now in a sand biome. I put a couple of cactuses down here for transitioning, and I think they look pretty nice, to be honest, and they kind of suit the feel that it's going to give it, and hopefully this is all the right things. A couple of trees are growing around the sides of it now, and hopefully this is the right thing that I want to develop on, basically. And obviously the other part that I did last episode was kind of start building on the cave, and I've slowly but surely began to dig out a small shaft area right here. But obviously it's kind of a bit box shaped at the moment, so it needs to be terrain changed a little bit, and obviously I've been finding little bits in the walls, but I don't want to dig them out because it looks more natural. Now this is a bit odd, because there's plenty of coal in the floor here, and I need to replace these cobblestone bricks back to not cobble, but stone. And so obviously I've been trying to find nice cave design ideas for the caves, because obviously I can't just make it look like a generic cave like this, because it just kind of looks boring and it won't have any point to it unless we start building our base underground. Now basically these were the things I wanted to show you this episode, and today we're going to be carrying on doing some more work around here. We're going to be tidying up little things, and we're going to take out this melon farm. And basically what I wanted to do today is basically begin on extending other parts of the world, so now that they make more sense now that all this stuff has been taken away, and it'll look a hell of a lot nicer. Now, to be honest, this melon farm, it's pretty useful, but to be honest, I don't really like it where it is at the moment, because it seems that it's kind of out of proportion for its colours. The colours look really nice, and they are good to place around the world to give a different colour around the place, but I don't think they suit this area right now at this current time. So obviously what I really would like to do is begin building on smaller builds that we can complete in a couple of episodes maybe, so that people are not just getting bored watching me do the same stuff and the same projects over and over again. Now coming up, I'm going to be doing in the next couple of episodes, I'm just going to gain some health here because I was down at half a heart, because I was doing another bit of mob fighting across the night, because I've been trying to work through the nights instead of going all the way back up to the base, sleeping, and then coming back down again, wasting about another 3-4 minutes, and then you've only got about 4 minutes left of the day. it's kind of just pointless, so we'll just gain our health back. We'll remove these melons, and as you can see, some of the melons decide that they don't want to stay, but that's fine, they can slowly go back. I don't really mind this, because it kind of makes more sense for them not to be here now that they're gone, and as long as we get seeds back, and pretty much a lot of melon, we should be fine for a while, and it gives us a good incentive to build little decorative things around the world, and it also gives us something else we can place besides just, flowers. Because also, melons are naturally growing, so, at the moment, so if we put a couple of different, stems across the places, then basically what we can do is we'll make it look a lot nicer, and it'll look a hell of a lot better when the world is finished. Now obviously what I need to do now is get rid of all the melon farming, and all the seeds as well, and all the stems, despite them being all grown, but they don't serve as a purpose anymore. So basically, goodbye melon farm. And I am basically, in the first couple of episodes of this series, in the ones where I have built all these farms, I do apologise for not actually sticking with the plans, but the change of plans has actually stuck in my head because it was kind of getting boring for me just to try and find something else to do in the world, because it was kind of limiting from the things that I was actually doing. And to make it more interesting now that all the updates have come out for 0.7.4 and all the others etc. for this, I wanted to really just change it about a bit so that we can adapt for when future updates come out, rather than just building fresh stuff and just hoping for the best. Because that's not really what you want to do in a world, because obviously you want to make a world and stick with it. And that's what I'm planning to do here. This is the reason I'm changing the world about, because it's not like a usual world, and it doesn't really give much space for adapting in the future updates. And as you can see, we are in 0.7.4 now. There's been a hell of a lot of bug fixes, and they've added something pretty cool. If you haven't watched any of my other episodes or my channel update, I really recommend that you check these out and basically just have a look at them, because what they kind of explain is the new multiplayer server thing which people can do, and hopefully this is much better for people that can play with others without going on to Realms, because at the moment Realms is a bit funny and it doesn't always work. So what I wanted to do was kind of set up from the new Multiplayer Pocket Edition app that people could just join me on a server. I have two servers set up at the moment. One is a Minecraft SMP server for multiplayer games. It can hold up to 4 players at once. You can do what the hell you want on it. I don't really care. And obviously, there is a little bit of a lighting glitch with chests still, despite the update. And I was hoping that this will be fixed before 0.8, because obviously, look, these up here are fine, but the ones below are dark. I don't see the point of this, but I think it's because there isn't any natural light going in. And as you can see, there is a fully set of armour, just slightly damaged because I took some fall damage wearing it on the way to putting it in there. So basically, what I want to do today is basically kind of just tidy up the place a bit and use what we have for our bone meal. Now, obviously, we have, not much, but to be honest, we don't really need it, and I just wanted to show you one thing with some TNT as well. I know it's quite TNT heavy lately, but it's a pretty cool object if you get it in your world. And if I could find it, it is there, like so. We just wanted to show you how much of an actual big hole TNT can make. Now, obviously, you've seen me blow up a lot of TNT in these couple of episodes since, and I thought, why the hell are we not using it for the most appropriate things? For example, the nether reactor core. Now, this needs to be destroyed, and I'm lazy. So what I want to do is blow it up easily. So, my plan is to get TNT blocks, place them throughout it, set them on fire, and then basically that'll be it for it, and we'll be all happy now that it's all gone. And obviously, we can't really get rid of obsidian with TNT, because it's pretty much obsidian TNT proof. So, watch it as it explodes, and let's see how much we get out of it. So you go, there is a huge hole there now in the middle. And if we could get on top and collect the lot, as you can see, it didn't take that much out, but obviously what we're trying to do is just take it out in small chunks, basically one at a time. And what I want to do here now is, because it's still pretty dark under here despite the torches being there, so obviously I just want to set some of these on fire to create light. And the best thing to do is to place these every 10. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm just going to place one on the end as well, just because it makes sense. Somewhere roughly in the middle, on either side, and like so. So basically this is just to light the place up, and it gives it the incentive for me to come eventually and clean it up. And as you can hear, there's another thing that I'd like to show you. Listen to that sound. Fire has a new sound to it. And as I can see, maybe fire here isn't the best of ideas, because it's now setting trees on fire. I really didn't think that through. And now I'm going to have to do a bit of a fireman's rescue on these trees before they set fire even more. In an original world, what I had the problem of was, I had an underground base basically, and it was made out of wood. And then I by accident did something else, and I kind of trying to get flint and steel to work, and I kind of hit it on wood by accident, and it kind of set the base on fire. And there's more trees on fire over there, better go and put them out. Despite them being a good source of light, they're not the most popular things to be using, despite nether reactor stuff being unlimited flames. How did this tree get on fire? Okay, I just swear I put this one out, but okay. There's actually quite a lot of fire on this tree. Better get it out quickly. Is that it? Is that all the fire? Nope. Okay, there we go. Fires are mostly out now. That was kind of a stupid thing to do, but none of these are near trees, so these should be fine. But one thing I want to do, though, is kind of just go bone mealing the place about, and hope, so basically, oh, obviously not like that, obviously with actual bone meal. So like so, just decorating the place up a little bit, so it has a more appealing look to it. To be honest, even just these flower patches, we could just have a flower farm. But just looking at that, that just looks pretty cool. And it kind of gives it a nice effect to it being up a hill. So if we place one here, and then here, and then here, and then another one here, we kind of get another effect of it going up that side as well. So we're kind of getting the idea of a little flower patch here. And I'm thinking that maybe something here, there, obviously, and something there. And we'll finish it off by putting some here and there. Obviously take a couple of these out because it's a bit over much, but the rest is fine because it kind of gives us a nice flower patch. And obviously when we need yellow dye, we can come and get it. What I would rather have, though, is blue dye. Now, as I've said this in many episodes, I want to do a wool episode. But the problem is I can't find lapis, which is strange because I've found diamonds in my world. And considering normally you find lapis before diamonds, yeah, it's pretty strange, to be honest. And as you can see, that looks a hell of a lot nicer now. Can't see much of the difference that TNT did, but to be honest, it looks a hell of a lot better. They've also fixed a lot of bug fixes in the 0.7.4 update, whereby now slabs, once again, now bring back 3, and not just 1. So earlier, we would have used 3, and we would have got 1 back. But now, we don't. We use 3, we get 6 back again. So we're not just gaining 1 slab for every 3 blocks of wood that we gain. So that is much better now that they've fixed that bug fix. Another bug fix now that you can do is we'll take the flint and steel with us because it's pretty useful. We just need to find, this is about to break, and I'm going to have to be very quiet for you guys to hear it. But what you can actually hear is the sword breaking. So if you listen, whenever it'll break, we'll be able to hear it make a new sound. So I'm going to break some of this dirt here, and you'll be able to hear it for yourself. Did you hear that? It was more of a clink now that this stuff breaks. And obviously when that kind of happens, it makes it much more common sense. It seems that the mob farm is running very slowly lately since the update. And creepers once again are still blowing the hell out of everything. But that's kind of not what I want to do with this anymore now. Because you can do this. Well, if there wasn't any water there, I'd be able to set them on fire. But what I want to do is get this creeper out on his own. And obviously it's going to take some time to separate the creepers. Hopefully one comes out on its own in a second, and I'll be able to show you that I can set creepers on fire. Yes, this has been pretty cool in previous updates, and obviously there's more zombies and skeletons coming up. So it might take us a while, but obviously we might just change this up a bit. So it's like this, so that we can just stand in this hole of water, drop ourselves in, and we can collect the stuff. This is a much better system, but it takes it much more difficult to get hold of the stuff. And obviously, look, the skeleton can't shoot us, so it's less likely for us to be damaged by it. And also, the creeper might damage us, but it's pretty unlikely, to be honest. And as you can see, look, the stuff comes straight to us. So, we're going to leave this for now, but obviously, when I can, I will try and show you in an episode a creeper being set on fire. Now, I might try and do it in the night, and I might not, but as you can see, my sheep despawned. Bit of a problem if I'm going to make a sheep farm, but what I also want to show you is, as you can see, cooked chicken. This has been in for a while, but I just thought I'd remind everybody of this old trick, because it is a pretty cool trick, to be honest. Setting animals on fire and having cooked chicken. Look, cooked chicken, not raw, cooked. It doesn't just work on chickens either. Another animal it works on, pigs. And we'll watch it burn alive, and then we'll have some roast cooked pork. If it gave, and there you go, cooked pork. Another important thing that I'm very, very happy about, means that I can change my house to the style I wanted it in, is that now in survival they've added some new blocks. Well, not new blocks to survival, but basically I need to go and find myself a stone cutter, and then we'll be able to go over to it and absolutely murder everything. Just taking out the rest of the mobs on the way, because we could do with the bone meal for our new huge wheat farm that I'm planning to do, because wheat farm is very important and it can be used to make things like cake, bread, and other useful stuff like that. But wheat, it's kind of an easy one to grow, and it's kind of the most common seed to find, so it's not really that bad. And to be honest, what I want to show you guys now is the new stuff they've added into survival, because if you check the stone cutter, you'll be able to see that now they have new quartz blocks, chiseled quartz. They also have these, but they're more common now, you can actually make them. And this one, I cannot believe they didn't think of adding this before. Sandstone stairs. It's just common sense to me, and I don't see why they didn't add it already. Now, I'll go and show you what the plans are for the sandstone stairs inside the house, because what I want to do is replace these with sandstone stairs, these with sandstone stairs all the way around the top here, and down here I also want to replace something else, but I can't remember what it is. But this is now our home. So I'm going to sleep, we'll go back out into the day, and we'll basically go to our sheep sanctuary, which is now going to get its new addition of a fence. So we're going to need to go and get ourselves some wood, and we're going to make ourselves a sheep sanctuary. Yes, a sheep sanctuary. So as you saw in the back, a couple of episodes ago, over in that direction, over there, like so, over there. If I could press my sword down, it would help. But what we want to do is enclose them in. Now obviously, lots of wood is going to be required for this. So we're going to leave 16 of this behind. And we're going to leave one in that gap. We're going to take, well, we don't want the ladders. We'll take all these except one, because we'll leave the space in the chest. And it will make more sense when we're over there. But we're going to need some of these. But obviously we'll probably just take 9. And we'll see how it goes. And we'll take the fences. That's kind of important, because fences are what we actually need. And what I'm going to show you though is I'm not actually going to make the sheep sanctuary today. I'm actually going to show you the design for the fence that I've come up with. So obviously we're probably going to need about a hell of a lot of fences, to be honest, just to cover it into the corner. But we'll go over here on this little piece of land here, and we'll go and have a show you of the plans that I'm going to do for the fence, basically. So what we've got here is we have ourselves different wood. So we've got our, hang on, I didn't even pick the, there we go. So pretend this little area is the sheep sanctuary. Okay, so this is our test wall. So this is the side wall, and then it will have little, like so. Now sheep are too high, which means that the fence posts don't actually have to be on the ground, meaning that other animals like pigs and chickens are free to roam in and out of the space at any time they want. But sheep can't, because sheep are 1.5 blocks tall, meaning that the best thing to do in this situation is either the following two ideas. One, we do a double fence like this all the way around the area we want to cover, so it'll look more like something like this, or that, depending on where you actually put the right pieces. Or what we do is something like this. If I take these bottom two pieces out here, you'll get the right idea of what I want, kind of what I'm suggesting to you. It may look a bit strange, but it makes more sense if you look at it in a more manner of a way like this. And then you'd have somewhere along the line, maybe 10 fences away, so 1, 2, like that. And then at this space over here, you would have your fence. And then on top of the fence, you would have your wooden slab, if I could, like so. Because these fences and the wooden slabs, they go pretty well together. And if it ever had to go downhill, obviously sheep could get out of this gap here because I can walk under it. But obviously you'd kind of flatten the ground out a little bit, or we'd probably change it up a bit. But what do you think of the designs? Do I go for the simple, just this design like this? Do I go for A, this, B, this design here? So you got the tall posts in between, and obviously it'd be dressed up a little bit with things like leaves. Or do I go for this design here across the back where they're elevated? And to be honest, I think that kind of looks a bit strange now after looking at it again. So here's the two choices for you guys now. I think either this one here or this one at the back here. Whichever one you decide, guys, just leave a comment in the video description, and the winning comment will be the design I choose. So remember, this one is A, this one is B, and this one is C. So yeah, guys, sheep sanctuary decision to be made now, and hopefully you make the right choice for the LP. It's up to you guys, and if not, I'm going to pick A or B. I'm not going to pick C. That's in my opinion, though. But it's up to you anyway. So yeah, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I've tried to go over some of the new stuff from 0.7.4, and I'm trying to get more back into this again. I've showed you some of the progress we've made for other stuff. We've used some more TNT. We've basically accidentally set fire to a hell of a lot of stuff, trying to light things up. We have an ugly mob farm down there which needs expanding more, so we get more efficient mob drops and we get more TNT. I'm actually considering looking at this one here, A and B. Please ignore C. So A or B in the description. Comment, like, rate and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye bye.